Well, it's time to talk a little bit more about the Kawasaki 400, as certain racer friends of mine had mentioned an interest in it. And I just want to clarify a few more racing notes regarding this bike for 2023. The biggest being, there's no class you can run it in, except maybe an endurance class or some sort of lightweight run anything class. That's it. That's all. And that's the main issue here. So someone needs to develop a class that this can race in. Because it's too big for lightweight, being a multi-cylinder 400, it doesn't qualify for that class because the nationals require you to be a twin. If you do buy this bike and want to run it in some small regional class, if you can find one somewhere, what race equipment can you currently get for it? You're going to need bodywork, and there's nothing out there for it at the moment at this time. Will the bodywork from Europe, say the Kawasaki 25R, fit the 250? If the bodywork was out of alignment, sorry. What about performance exhaust? Has anybody developed a pipe for it yet? Well, of course not, because the bike's not here yet, so nobody can fully produce and test a system with complex curves and lengths. And since the North American market, USA and Canada, it's limited to 11,500 RPM redline. So now you need to look into an ECU flash of some sort, a new black box, just to open it up to have its full potential horsepower. Of course, the rear shock for the RR version comes well equipped, but being an off-the-shelf standard Kawasaki item, will it fade faster than, say, a performance aftermarket shock? You'll also be looking at front end suspension as well. So front and rear, and does anybody have these kits yet? I haven't seen any yet. So not only will this bike cost you $13,000 or more in Canada just to get it off the showroom floor and home, you'll have to put an additional $2,000 to $4,000 into it just to race it in a regional class if you can find one. When? For $3,000 less, you can run a Kawasaki 400 Twin in multiple classes. And being run in a national series, it seems to be the bike of choice. With bodywork, suspension, ECU, quick shifter, everything is available for the Kawi 400 Twin. Or you might even be able to find a good deal on one that was raced previously. They're out there, as some riders are looking to move up. So this begs the question to ask Kawasaki, why bring out this bike now? Do they have big plans in the works for 2024 for a series of its own? Will Kawasaki be producing race kits in the future for this bike? The 25R Cup Challenge in Japan, the 250cc version, was a major success, with limited modifications allowed and running as a stock race series. But will this inline four-cylinder 400 inspire other manufacturers to make their own as well? I'm seriously doubting it. With Honda switching to twins and dropping their CBR, and with Yamaha dropping the R6, and with Suzuki introducing a new parallel twin that could replace their GSX-R in the future, was Kawasaki hoping to keep the inline four-cylinder alive somehow and give us a choice when all the other manufacturers were leaving their four cylinders behind? Because right now, the choice is hard to make this 400 the right choice and make it competitive. And even if you are not going to race this bike or even track day it, are you prepared to shell out $13,000 plus to drive this bike on the street as maybe your first bike? That might be a very hard sell, because it was the sound of a four-cylinder engine motor screaming at 18,000 RPM that was the appeal of this bike. And North America cut that as well. However, I do applaud Kawasaki for taking this bold, expensive step. But as a racer, I wish the R&D department would have had bodywork, race ECUs, suspension, piston kits, everything ready to go for those of us out there that wanted to race this bike. Because if enough of these bikes were sold with the intention of going to the track, you know, win on Sunday, sell on Monday, you would have had people lined up buying parts for a series that sounded just like super bikes, but was for a great entry class. There's a great business saying: be first, be smarter, or cheat. I wonder, which one did they do here?